Walnut's computer is turning 7 years old this year. It's a pretty decent machine for web browsing and spreadsheets, but it takes forever to boot. We priced a major brand online, and it looks like the best they have is about $800. So, we are going to see how good of a PC you can really get with $800 if we overhaul versus replace. Let's get to it. There are a lot of good parts on this list. The case, the power supply, 2 hard drives, the CD-ROM, and the cooling fans. And of course the monitor. Just ditching this would be a major waste of money. Now we're going to lay it over on its side. We're going to remove the side panel. It's a lot of bleeps and bloops. Then we're going to remove every cord we see. Now we're going to remove the graphics card. Now we're going to take the cooling fans out. There's 2 screws inside holding the fan assembly down. We're going to take those out. This is the original RAM, CPU, and motherboard. We're now going to remove the remaining screws and take out the motherboard. The cases haven't changed in a couple of decades, so the new motherboard will fit right in there. The new motherboard will have new components in the back, so a new backplate will be fitted into the case. We have to remove the fan brackets so we can transfer them over to the new motherboard. These standoffs keep the motherboard from shorting out on the case. Make sure they match where the holes are in the motherboard. Now, we are very carefully going to place the motherboard into the case. Now is a good time to install the RAM onto the motherboard. The CPU has a golden arrow right here that is going to align with a plastic arrow on the actual part. You're going to simply sit it down on it and it will fall into place. We're going to install a new M.2 solid state drive, but first we have to adjust the standoff. Once again, line up the indentations on the actual parts. We're going to hook up some of these cables that'll be easier to hook up for now. Right here you can see that there's a blank on your cord. And down here you can see that there's a pin missing. That's how you can tell they match up. There we go. Now I'm going to install the fan. I first make sure the thermal paste was even. I'm now going to install the graphics card onto the new motherboard. You'll have to point straight down and then push until it clicks. Now we're going to hook up the rest of the cables and install the operating system onto the solid state drive. Now that we have the operating system installed, let's see if we can boot up faster than 3 minutes. Now we're going to see how fast it can go from sleep. Boom. Wow. Here's what you would get with a popular new PC versus our new rebuilt PC. The CD-ROM, both do have that. The Blu-ray disc reading, both also have that. HD disk. Popular new PCs do not, while ours do. The RAM. Popular new PCs would have 12 gigs, while ours has a whopping 32. RAM speed is at 1600 megahertz, while ours is at 1866 megahertz. The CPU speed is at 2.1 gigahertz on popular new PCs, while it's at 4.7 gigahertz on ours. The number of cores is 4, while ours has 8. 3D accelerated graphics cards on most new PCs are 970 megahertz, while ours has 1342 megahertz. This would be able to play almost any modern game at its ultra settings without nearly any issue. Video RAM is at 2 gigs, while ours has 8 gigs. The hard drive storage is 1000 gigs on most new PCs, while ours has 3000 gigs SATA 250 M2. The hard drive speed on most new PCs is 6 gigabits, while ours has 25 gigabits. The cost for the top-of-the-line popular new PCs is $800, while ours is only $89 more. But you get a whole lot more computer for the extra $89. We would have actually been able to build our PC cheaper if Walnut didn't go for so much RAM. If we really wanted to only adjust the boot speed, we could have just done the motherboard and hard drive for about $200. There you have it. If you simply rebuild your PC over the years, you can get much better performance for a lot cheaper. Oh, rip my hand. Oh. 3D accelerated graphics card. 970 megahertz on most new, while ours has 1342 megahertz. Gonna reread that. On most new PCs, while ours has 3000 gigs SATA 250 M2. Whatever that means. It's a wrap!
Good job.
I can do that better when my voice is all derp.